Good day, OA. My name is Lionel Garcia. I'm your Vice President of Sales and Agent Development, and I'm excited to be here with you today because today is Motivation Monday, and I love to be together with you and share with you some of these moments that can be inspiring, some of these things that maybe you're really confident with, you know about them, but sometimes it's nice to have another reminder. So today's topic might actually surprise you because today's topic is really something that maybe goes opposite to what you were thinking. Maybe you were thinking you needed some motivation, but the truth is maybe instead of motivation, what you need is some momentum. And I know it's kind of weird, but here we are talking about Motivation Monday and we're trying to build some motivation. But maybe what we need to talk about is how you need some momentum. And so we're going to jump in. But before we do, I love talking about our wins of the week. So let's celebrate those wins. Go ahead and drop the wins in the chat. I want to know what those wins are. What went well this last week? I know many of you had students starting school for the first time of the school year, so that was exciting. Maybe you had some wins professionally as well. Maybe you booked a new client, you received a referral, you followed up consistently. Or how about this? Maybe you finally put your bookings into the CRM. I know us salespeople, my goodness, we don't like to do the documentation, but sometimes those little things, although they could be a nuisance, they have to get done. So, or maybe you finally completed that project you were working on. Maybe it's a project for your business or your husband's out there. Maybe it was that honey-do list that your wife's been asking you to do again and again and again, and you've been putting it off. Maybe you finally got it done. So I want to know what your wins are. Remember, every single win matters. Every win is creating that momentum that you need to keep things going forward. So I want to celebrate with you. Let's see. We have somebody here. Hi. We have Lisette. Hello from Davenport. We have Kelvin from New Orleans. He started a travel news on his Facebook page and has a section called Motivation. I loved it. On YouTube. All right. Adrian booked his first Virgin Voyages group. Good stuff. Yes. Thank you for sharing these wins. This is good stuff. We like seeing the wins that you're having out there. For me personally, school started last week and surprisingly, everything happened as expected. We were able to take the kids to school on time. The kids were ready ahead of time. That was weird, but that was awesome. We celebrated all those wins and successes at home because it's not every day that they leave the house or we're ready to leave the house on time. They get to school with enough notice. And I was able to get up every morning and work out as I intended to do. And that was a huge win for me on the personal side. On the professional side, oh man, it is exciting because this time next week, we will all be at Universal Studios Orlando with our It's a Jungle Out There conference. It's our 2026 conference, and I'm excited. We're going to have over 400 of you in attendance, and it's going to be an incredible event. So we are counting down. All right, let's see. We have LaQuanda did a cross-country move from Las Vegas to North Carolina, smooth transition. LaQuanda, yes, that is a win, of course, to go from Las Vegas to North Carolina, and it was smooth. Let's go with that. That is a win. So great stuff. Let's jump into our topic of the week is that you don't need motivation. What you might need is movement. So let's be honest. How many times have you told yourself, I'll do it when I feel motivated? Or better yet, I know for me, it's like, I'll start that diet on Monday, or I'll start exercising on Monday, hoping that maybe, just maybe, I'll get motivated a few days down the line because I am not motivated right now, right? Or maybe you've said, I just need to get inspired first. Well, here's the problem. Motivation is unreliable. Some days you wake up energized and ready to conquer the world, and other days, well, not so much. So if your success is going to solely depend on your motivation, then your success will be or can be inconsistent. But momentum that is different. Momentum is created by action. And just last week, we talked about taking that next step or taking that action and not falling behind. So I want you to maybe think of a train. When you think of a train and the train starts moving on the tracks, right? It doesn't start very quick. It's not like it goes 0 to 60 in a second. No, that train, the hardest part of the train isn't keeping the train moving. It's actually getting that train started. So that's what you need to think about, because once it starts to move, the momentum takes over. And the truth is that your business can work exactly the same way. One follow-up leads to another, or one social post can lead to another. One conversation can create another conversation. That one booking boosts confidence and then creates the energy for the next opportunity. So I want you to think of this mindset shift. And that shift is that action will create that motivation and not the other way around. Like the motivation isn't going to now all of a sudden be born inside of you and you're, yes, I'm going to go do something. No, doing something can and will create that motivation, that momentum. So the truth is, most people wait around until they feel motivated to act. But successful people, most of you watching this and listening to this, successful people act first and allow that motivation to catch up. That's how momentum is built. And the truth is, you don't need to have a perfect day. You don't need to have perfect conditions. You don't need a boost of inspiration. You just need to take that next right step. Take that one action, one step that can lead to that one win, or take that one piece of forward movement, because that momentum loves movement, and that is what will create those results that you're looking for. Now, every week we do jump into our call to action, but before we do, I do see a few comments here, so I want to get something here. LaQuanda, check it out. Mickey agrees that it is a win. North Carolina to Vegas. I think it was the other way around. You said no, but anyway, momentum. You got it, Mickey, and you are getting started. I love it. So let's jump into our call to action. This week, we're going to take a momentum challenge. I want you to choose one business building activity, and I want you to commit to doing it every day this week. But just take one of those business building opportunities. We're going to give you some examples here, but I want you to work on it every single day this week. It doesn't need to be complicated. Keep it simple. So one example is maybe follow up with 3 people daily, or post once per day on your social channels. Spend 15 minutes prospecting. Contact one past client. Here's a good one. And it takes, a special person to want to do this and always learn and be growing. Learn one new travel tip each day. Remember, the goal is not to be perfect, okay? The goal is to create the movement, because our goal would be that by the end of the week, by Friday, you're going to ask yourself this question: what momentum have I created this week? And the fact is, you will be amazed by what happens when action becomes a habit. And I know in your mind, you're thinking, okay, Lionel, okay, so I do 5 days. But listen, if you build that practice and then you do it the following week, and then you do it the following week, once you start building that momentum, it really will become very hard for you to make it stop. Go back to that train example. How hard is it to make a train stop? Because that momentum is still going. And so that's what you're going to do when you start building these successful habits and you start taking action and building things one step at a time, taking the next step, followed by the next step. It will become very challenging to make it stop. So go for that and do that. Every week we go and talk about a success quote of the day. And so our quote this week is: success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. So don't worry about doing it just sometimes. Worry about doing it every day. Do something every single day. Build that momentum. I want you to think about that success isn't just going to come because you know what? Use the gym example. So many of us have exercised several times. Some of us are gym rats and love going to the gym. If you work out once a week for 2 hours at a stint, or you work out every day for 4 days, 30 minutes a day. Which one is better? The one that's better for your body, the one that's going to get you more results, is going to be the 4 days of working out 30-minute days, 30 minutes a day for 4 days a week. That's the one versus just that once a week for 2 hours. So work on the fact that success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. These small actions, okay, repeated consistently, will lead to your extraordinary results that you're looking for. All right, we have a few more comments here. Every day is a good day to have a good day. That is what I go by. I like that, Mickey. That's awesome. Rob, make the rubber meet the road. I love that. Mickey, back with consistency. Michelle, thanks, Lionel. I need to keep moving this week. I'm ready for next week in Orlando and just coasting today. I like that, Michelle. Go ahead. Take that step. Make some action happen today. That would be amazing. And then how do you move past someone reaching out to you but later ghosting you? You know, Laquanda, there's a lot of comments on that. And actually, I know I did a session on this before on a previous Motivation Monday. I would tell you that it's hard, but the easiest thing you can do is just brush it off. Brush it off and move on and take on the next opportunity. Think about the pro ball player. This is really crazy. I had a cousin who played professional baseball. And here's a fun fact. The guys who make it into the Hall of Fame struck out or didn't get on base 7 out of 10 times. Right? When you think about that, 7 out of 10 times they didn't achieve to get on base. But because they achieved to get on base 3 out of 10 times, they make it to the Hall of Fame. If their batting average is 300 or more, they typically get their ticket punched into the Hall of Fame. So think about that when you think about the fact that you might attempt somebody, you might reach out to somebody, and then they ghost you. It's okay. Move on. Ask them, give them, say, bless your heart and move on. That's what you're going to do. Kenley, I have just implemented a 4-week plan Monday through Friday, now in week 2. On both her Facebook page and group page daily. She has 15 weeks of planned content ready to once the planner will let me schedule it. My engagement rate has already bumped since starting last week. Kenley, that's a huge win. Congratulations. Thanks for sharing. And it just goes to show that putting things into action can work. So that is what we need to do. All right, let's wrap up. In closing, I want you to know that it means the world to me that you were here with me this week. I almost didn't do this Monday because really we are this into pressure for conference and getting everything ready for our agents that are joining us at conference. But it means the world to me that you came and joined me this week. So I want you to stop waiting for that motivation to arrive. I want you to create that momentum, take that next first step. I want you to make it count, because success isn't just built on inspiration. It's built on that movement, the movement that you're already building. So make sure you keep making steps that have and build that movement. I want you to have a great week. Keep moving forward. And I hate to tell you this, but we will not have a Motivation Monday next week because we will be at our national conference in Orlando with over 400 of our advisors attending. We're super excited. So look for updates throughout the week next week. Our conference hashtag is hashtag OA. It's a jungle out there. So if you want to stay in touch, so you're not able to attend, but you want to see what's happening, follow along hashtag OA. It's a jungle out there. And we will get together. Next time we get together will be on August 31st. And I look forward to seeing you all at our next Motivation Monday, August 31st. And if you're coming to conference, I'll see you there. Talk to you later. Bye.